Hey guys, if you like this video, if you like my channel, if you like the stuff I've been putting up, please, please, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, hit that little thumbs up, and share it with your friends. The more people who do that, the more dogs we can help, and that's what we're here for, right? Okay, so one of the problems that we run into as dog trainers that we hear a lot of people contact us about is my dog doesn't ride well in the car. He's jumping on me, he's barking, he's climbing, trying to climb into my lap, whatever. He's a nuisance and it's a distraction when I drive, and this is a dangerous problem. Now, let me start by saying the absolute safest way to transport your dog in a car is to put them in a crate, which is securely affixed to the vehicle so that neither the dog nor the crate can fly around the car. That's the safest way. And I've heard rumors that there's at least one state, I can't remember which one, but there's at least one state where that's the law. You have to transport your dog that way. I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on that, but I remember hearing that a few years back. All right. So if you choose to transport your dog in another way, understand you are adopting extra risks for yourself and for your dog. And I'm not going to tell you you can't make that choice, but be aware of that. That's my first thing. But if you're going to transport your dog in the car and they don't have good car manners, that's something you can teach. All right. Now, I always start with a stay. If your dog doesn't have a stay, go back and teach that first. Once your dog has a stay, now we begin to practice it in the car. So what you can do is have your car in the driveway, have your dog on a leash, take them up, put them in the car, and practice that stay. If you want to look at the video I did on place, you can do the same thing with that, with the place, as you can with the back seat of your car. Get the dog in there, get them staying there, get them finding that that back seat is where they want to be, and then practice that. Practice, practice, practice. A lot of people will just, practice a couple minutes and then they'll say, okay, I want to go for a drive. That's not what I mean. Practice it every day. Take your dog out, get him to jump in that seat, practice staying in that seat. And when he's really good at that, get like a 20-foot line. You don't even have to buy an expensive training lead. You can go down to the hardware store, buy a length of rope, a snap, tie a snap onto that rope, clip it to their collar, and string it out the car. Leave both the back doors open so the dog doesn't feel isolated, and run that line out. And then you can just sit in a chair, sit in a lawn chair, put a lawn chair in your front yard. At the end of that 20-foot line, you can even tie that line to the chair so the dog doesn't get loose if you want to. But sit down in that chair, read a book, scroll your social media. You bring your iPad or your tablet out, watch Netflix, whatever you want to do. I don't care. Use your laptop, work on your work, whatever. But just sit there for about 20 minutes. The dog gets up, put them back, just like we did in the place video. And then once they're doing that, the next step is to go sit in the front seat. Again, leave the doors open, go sit in the front seat with the dog in the car, right? And just sit there while the dog practices. So we just make it a little harder each time. They add it and then try it with the door shut. Everybody's in the car with the door shut, right? Windows down. And then windows up with the motor running. Right? Now, once you get to that point, now it's time to bring in a helper because we want to keep everybody really safe, right? So get your helper to drive the car, you sit in the passenger seat. All right? It's important that you're the one that fixes the dog when he breaks. So try and do this also at a time when it's not real busy, right? Because it will be distracting for the driver. So try and do this at a time when, in a place or time where there's not a lot of traffic around, right? Have your helper start driving the car, you sit in the passenger seat. The dog gets up out of that back seat, reach over, fix the dog, however you want. Use food, use the leash, whatever. But make sure the dog gets in the practice of staying in a moving vehicle in their place. And if you do it down, if you have the dog lying down, it's better because they can't look out the windows. And they can't look out the windows and bark at everybody, right? Do that a lot. And then sort of switch roles. Have the helper in the passenger seat, you in the driver's seat. But you want to do this until your passenger doesn't have to do anything anymore. Don't take that solo trip until your passenger doesn't do anything. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. If you're going to do the first time you do a solo trick, I want you to make sure you do this very safely. I want you to make sure you do this very, very, very safely, okay? But you have to take a little bit of a risk, right? So one of the problems people have is when they try to train their dog, whenever you try to train your dog in the environment you need it to work in, if you are allowing the environment to control your training session, you run into this trouble. Like you're not always prepared. You're not always in the situation where you can handle it, right? So if the first time you do a solo trip with your dog in the car, it's at rush hour or a busy time of day and your dog is barking, you cannot stop what you're doing to deal with that. You have to keep driving. Like, you become a hazard to everybody if you try and discipline or fix your dog's behavior while you're driving. Okay? So what we're going to do instead is we're going to find a place that's not a lot of traffic, a deserted back road, even a big parking lot where there's not a lot going on, right? And you're going to drive. When the dog breaks that position, stop the car, put it in park, reach back, and fix your dog. And then when they're settled back, start driving again. Now, if it's a safe place, if there's no traffic, check your mirrors. If there's no one behind you, you can park right there in the street to do this. It's only going to take a few seconds. But check your mirrors first. Don't be dumb about this. Like, be very safe. But let the dog know that you will stop the car. What happens is dogs who have a really good stay, they get in the car, they're acclimated to the environment, they figure out that you will not fix them if you're driving. We don't want them to learn that. We want them to think that you will fix them. You will stop and fix them no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. So do this a few times. And trust me, if you do this regularly, your dog's going to be great in the car in a couple weeks' time, all right? Maybe sooner than that. So that's a real quick rundown of the steps that you want to go through. It's not hard. It is time consuming. You got to put the effort in, all right? Don't teach it on the fly. That's not safe. Build the dog to success. If you do it right, that last phase won't be hard. You won't have to stop the car a couple of times, all right? And if it's not safe, abandon the project. If you can't safely stop, don't. Can't stress that enough. Like, don't get in an accident. Don't cause somebody else to get in an accident because you're trying to train your dog. That's not right. All right? So I hope this helps. Go through the steps. Hit me up with any questions you have in the comments. All right? And I guess that's it. If you know this, if you can confirm or deny or confirm or deny that there's a state where you have to crate your dog, put that in the comments too, because I'm truly curious about that. All right? So thank you for watching, and I will see you around. Hope you guys are all safe and healthy out there. Take care.